Yo. What is up, streamers? It's your boy. Toxicide, baby. What's good with it? Yo. Fuck, where's my blink pen, man? Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome. It's been a long week. Alright, I had to get that bag. IRL, brother. I had to put in those hours, if you know what I'm saying. But anyways, my power's all charged up. God! I got a brand new tooth. A tooth I've been waiting 1.5 years to grow. Just grew back in to the hole right here. Got a new tooth, brother. Shit goes hard, must say. Must say. Anyways, some of you might be thinking, yo, Tox, why are you lower to the ground? Yes, I'm Sicilian, but I'm not that short, okay? My chair's piston has absolutely shit the bed. It is unbelievably compromised and absolutely and totally destroyed. So you guys will see me slowly start lowering. Of course, it's not going to do it now that I'm talking about it, but my piston is completely broken. My piston still in those DMs. I hope that my mic picked up my fart sound, because that shit was so fire. Oh man, even my asshole timing's good. Anyways, I got scars for days. I picked a fight at the gym, honestly. Guy behind me was using the trap bar machine, screaming like, yeah. Okay, I didn't pick a fight with him, but this actually happened. He was screaming like that, doing his set, and I think a lady asked him, like, please stop screaming, and he crashed out on her. Then the coach started coming over. He, like, ran over. They almost got into it. So the whole gym was like, what the hell's going on? Meanwhile, I was hitting that chest and tries. I could give a fuck if somebody's screaming, throwing hands with the coach. I don't care, okay? I gotta get these gains, alright? What else happened? Probably something. I don't fucking remember. I knocked, like... I knocked a giant pallet of milk over. That shit sucked. There was milk everywhere. I was cleaning up milk for over an hour. Literally, there's still milk stained all over the floor. It's unbelievable. The probably 15 gallons of milk broke. That shit was awful. It was seeping out of the walls. It was insane. So yeah, what else happened? Elden Ring Night Rain was announced. Standalone Elden Ring game. Is it gonna be good? I don't know. Honestly, I've got no fucking clue. It's like I think they said it's a co-op survival game. Not sure how that's gonna go. But looking at the trailer, it looks like they have elements from DS3. I think even 2. It's probably just like a fan game. This might have to do with the Sony acquisition of From Software. I'm not sure. I'm not a journalist. I just read things in Goon online. Okay. So there's not much to say about that. Something else, The Witcher 4 was announced following... Siri, if you will. Of course, huge backlash. Huge backlash from incels everywhere. Incredible. Was Magumba around during the time of troubles? I believe he was, as he always were. He is a stain upon time, an unbelievable component of the everlasting eternity. So Also, welcome, Mr. Roy Nasty. Welcome to Baldur's Gate. You are going to be my true guide to the Forgotten Realms, the realms of Faerun. Because my knowledge of the Baldur's Gate universe is very, if I must say, dog shit. Suck it on dog dick. I don't know what the fuck is going on in the Forgotten Realms outside of a few things. So I'm going in pretty much blind, although I've played most of Act 1. Hypothetically, I've spent a lot of time in Act 1. There's much that I don't know, and doing this honor mode challenge is obviously going to be quite challenging up to a certain point. It was a disparate and disconcerting time when many gods were slain, and some were forced to walk the prime material in a earthly avatar. Well, lucky for you. Talking about prime materials. Let me open up the Baldur's Gate 3 Honor Mode Campaigns.txt and let me show you what we could possibly be working with in these fallen, forgotten realms of Faerun. Fuck's sake. Alright, so let's do a web page, and let me show you some of my characters that I've built for... Depending on how good I am at this game, we might see some of them, we might see all of them. So let's start with one of the OGs. This is actually a character that we were playing about a year ago. But now that Honor Mode's been released, we of course would have to remake him and do it. But one of the characters we have, Arkelian Ashokar. He is a cursed Oathbreaker, a drow paladin fighting against his tainted soul. He has a chaotic alignment that changes from bad to good and vice versa. Of course, as we play... Oh, I'd make a great Duragar. Oh, no. You know what? That might actually be one of my characters down here. We'll see. We'll see what happens. And then, of course, I have Ivy of the Thorns, an elf druid, saved from a life of dark druidic ritual, deep love and obligation towards animal and natural life. This is going to be a chaotic good character and playthrough if we do that. I also have an alternate timeline, Ivy of the Thorns, that is a full shadow druid, and the purpose of life aligns with their tactics, the full destruction of civilization in the interest of nature. This is going to be a lawful, evil playthrough if we do spin the character wheel and get that. Now, speaking of the character wheel, our first run is going to be Tox the Punished. This is the most neutral character, and I think it is just fitting that I start with this, since I haven't played Baldur's Gate for over a year, and I need to get back into things, but he's going to be a cursed drow, assassin slash thief, one that stole from Raphael, and as punishment, Raphael has cursed Tox's soul and owns the remnants of his fractured existence. Also, somebody put self-serving Gooner in his character traits, so I guess that's a thing, whatever that means. Anyways, that's going to be a chaotic neutral playthrough. This is going to be the most, I don't know, this is the least RP one. This is probably going to be, this and somebody else in this list coming up directly under this is going to be the most me-coded character, the most Tox-coded. And our next character, Magumba Prime. A barbarian half-orc, a violent upbringing, common of any orc. Magumba's exile found him roaming Faerun. Magumba values strength, power, and honor above all else. This is going to be a lawful, neutral character. At least I will try to be lawful, neutral. As you know, with every Magumba character, things can get crazy. So that'll be a very fun playthrough if I do get spun on it. Of course, we're starting with Tox the Punished. which is going to be most close to my true values, perhaps. And then Magumba Prime, a sheer exaggeration of my deep, deep rage. Ed Greenwood, the father of the Forgotten Realms setting, has written down what drow breast milk would taste like. He's been known to delve deeply, no pun intended, into some of the more macabre. How do you fucking say that? I always get that wrong. Macabre? Macabre? Like Macorna macabre and sexual lore of the setting. Alright, I know what we're going to be reading after the stream. Some of this guy's work. I wonder what it tastes like. Alright, the next character, Koko Shibyo, which translate to Japanese, the bubonic plague. He's going to be an eldritch knight, Asmodeus Tiefling. If we spin this character, this is going to be very bad, because he is the pure amalgamation of the Black Death, a plague on Faerun. He will not squander an opportunity to destroy or leave ruin in his wake. This is going to be a chaotic evil character. This is probably going to be difficult to do this in honor mode because he's probably going to kill most things, I must say. Then, of course, we have another good character, Gragas the Golden, a cleric and paladin, a chosen of Tyr paladin. A dwarf, obviously, the holiest servant of all that is good, and beer, lots of beer, lawful good. I think it'll be interesting to be challenged to play a good character, so I made Gragas the Golden, the absolute epitome of all that is good. And then I started running out of ideas, so I've got Bobby Lee. He's a halfling monk who will happen to be looking just like Bobby Lee, the comedian. And then I also have a variation named Spruce Lee, which would be a wood elf monk. Of course, no backstory for that, but I needed more characters on the wheel. And of course, I have just started The Sopranos, so our last character that we could possibly spin after my first reset is Tony Soprano. Tony, where's the gabagool? Come on. All right, so we got a nice little list of characters. How far into the show? I'm only like maybe 10 episodes. So please, no Sopranos spoilers. I've been waiting to watch this series my whole entire life, and I still somehow have not. But we just started that. So, I'm kind of hoping that we don't get Tony Soprano spun on until I finish the series, so I can have a more in-depth understanding of what it means to be fucking Italian. You know what I'm saying? As if I don't already have that. But yes, this is our possible characters. I do want to show you guys very quickly the spin wheel. So where spin wheel? All right. So let me pull up our so this is how we'll spin. It's basically, and also I gotta add Tony Soprano in here. So basically how the spin will work if we die and have to reset, which is probably going to happen, but I'm very good at all games, so it might also not ever happen. We will spin the wheel to see who's next. And of course, this does not count, but this is how this would work. And then I would be forced to play that character, and of course, we will go upon the backstory. So if we got Evil Ivy, then it would be this character, and that's how I would structure the entire playthrough. But the more interesting thing is the Wheel of Fate, otherwise known as the Wheel of Punishment. So we have many different... What is this fucking music? God damn it. So we have many different... Woke to that, got myself a gun. We have some some conditions that are very game damaging and some conditions that are slightly challenging. So let's start from the top. We've got normal run. There's an 8% chance to get a normal run. We have solo run, which is probably going to be the worst option to get until we get a little bit further down here. Basically, I can't have companions unless I'm forced to for a quest. So solo run is definitely undesirable. Then we have Dark Urge, yes only. So if anyone knows about the Dark Urge, basically it makes you fucking kill people and do horrific things. You can either resist it or you can say yes to it. So this condition will pretty much force me to be evil in a way and probably ruin some things. Violently racist. I think you guys can derive what will happen here. Basically, if I get this trait, which this trait is actually already attributed to Drow, so that's interesting. But if I get this on another character, I, of course, will spin a wheel for which race I have to be violently racist in game 2. And anytime I interact with one of the character, whatever race is spun, oh my god, it has to be. I have to be horrifically mean and or beat them, kill them, or steal. So that's an interesting trait. Hopefully, I can keep streaming here. Yeah, exactly. So this will be. This is essentially like a lighter. Wait, what is the other one? Okay, never mind. Lost my train of thought there. Anyways, that's an interesting trait. Then, of course, we have a no potions run, so I can't use any consumable potions. That's just an extra Tony Soprano option. Exactly, Eagles PP. So hopefully, if I get Tony, I will get the violently racist as well, and that will be incredible. My power level will be way too high. So next, okay, yeah, no potions, no consumables. Not super hard. I can definitely play around this. However, quite inconvenient, and probably for sections later in the game that I have no idea. Like, if I have to drink a potion to do a quest or something, I just won't be able to do it. So that kind of sucks, actually. Then we have no trading. So I can't barter. I can't buy things. I can't do any trading. So I can only get new items from drops. Or from stealing, I believe. But I don't know if I'll make it to where I can't steal from a merchant. I don't know. I think we'll leave it in because with honor mode, this is fun to you. No, this is going to be very difficult. So this is why it's the Wheel of Fate, otherwise known as the Wheel of Punishment, which I might as well just rename to the Wheel of Punishment already. This will make our this honor mode even deeper and distraught than our Divinity of Sins 2 playthrough, honor mode playthrough, which was one of my favorite stream marathons. Okay, and then we have double roll. So this is the worst option. If I land on double roll, that means that I have to roll twice and get 2 of these traits. Now, of course, let's go through the rest of the traits. There's no magic. So if I get no magic, obviously, I can't use any magic. I can't have any companions that use magic. And of course, we can discuss what is magical. We can discuss whether it's just spells or whether it's like enchanted weapons. We will figure that out. You better give your soul to Kelimvor, Bahamut, Moradin, whoever, because your ass is going to belong to this game. Exactly. It's going to be hard if we get, like, a really bad one here. All right, so we do have, also, this is like the light version of no trading. This one is barter only. So I can't use gold. Gold is going to be useless to me. However, if I have like a store of items, a store of high value items, I can barter with merchants. Of course, later in the game, this is going to be useless because I'm never going to have items worth enough to barter. So this is essentially a light version of the no trading. Okay, another horrible trait, no resurrection. So let's say me and Asterion are walking down a fucking, I don't know, a cave. Spider kills Asterion. I cannot use any scroll of resurrection, any spell of resurrection on him. If he dies, he dies. So this one's going to be horrible. Yes. So hopefully I don't get that one, because that would make this 10 times harder. Another one we have is no respec, otherwise known as pure classes. So if I start as a rogue, I have to stay a rogue. I can't multi-class, and I can't respec. And that goes for companions as well. So Shadowheart has to stay a cleric. Lae'zel has to stay a fighter. Is it really terrible? I don't know. I mean, it kind of... I think we can still beat the game as pure classes, but it definitely makes us weaker. The option of multi-class, I think, is a lot more powerful than being a pure class, especially like if I choose like a weaker class, like just rogue. It could potentially dampen my my run. And then, of course, we have duo run. So, like solo run, I can only have one companion in duo run, just me and my companion. So that's like a light version of solo run. And then we have the trait slow start. This is going to be alternating multi-class. So it's a little complex, but basically, let's say if I had a plan. So what I'm going to do with Tox the Punished, my rogue, is I'm going to multi-class into ranger and fighter. So if I had the slow start trait, then I can only put 1 point into one class at a time. So I have 3 classes that I'm going to multi-class into. So level 1, I'd have to be rogue. Level 2, I'd have to be ranger. Level 3, I'd have to be fighter, and then it resets. So 1 more point into rogue, 1 point into ranger, 1 point into fighter. I mean, I don't know. You might not get it at first, but it basically forces me to not be as powerful until later. So that's another trait. Anyways, this is the Wheel of Punishment. Hopefully I won't have to reset and deal with one of these, but if we do, it'll make honor mode in this marathon a lot more challenging. Anyways, that took probably like 20 minutes, so sorry, but now you guys have a taste of some of the rules and some of what's to come, and some of the desperation that I'll feel when playing this playthrough, because if I do reset, I have the potential of resetting into something that is truly, truly horrific. So, without further ado, let us begin. I do have third-party mods enabled, but they should just be cosmetic mods. I can't stand the idea of a drow not having facial hair. I don't fucking care if it's lore-specific that they don't have facial hair. I can't be a man without some hair on my face. All right. So let's start. Obviously, we're going for honor mode, detailed overview, intense campaign recommended for experienced players and players with huge, massive cocks and balls. Obviously, me, stronger bosses, stricter rules, single save file. So yeah, I think actually a lot of the boss fights are more challenging and have different mechanics. So this is going to be quite a fun adventure. It's not as bad as a beard sporting dwarf in Dark Sun. That's true. Well, I have a lore reason for my drow having a beard because his soul was infected by demon power. The demon DNA has entered my system and has allowed me to grow a beard. How about that? Get fucked. Imagine being a dwarf and hairless. A dwarf must have a huge beard. It is not true, Roy Nasty. You are lying to me. Anyways, this is the chamber of gooning and breeding. And of course, the squid fuck is checking on me with his disgusting two-toed feet. Speaking of feet, Roy Nasty, you know the question is coming. Which companion has the stinkiest, most gruesome feet?